Would you look at that? Haha! Would you look at that? What's up, guys? It's a little late for this video, but we are gonna wrap up the lift installation. The last part of this install is because the ceilings, they're either 13 or 14 foot ceilings, I can't get the car up to the last notch because of the garage door opener. So the way I'm gonna resolve this issue is I picked up a Liftmaster 8500 series, and I didn't even know these existed until I started looking for a solution for this, but basically you could see the little notch guy there that comes out of the side. You install this unit up over here next to the torsion beam for the opener. It'll clamp on right there, and it will actually crank that to open and close the garage. It comes with a lock kit that you can install down below that has like a electronic lock that actually comes out and will lock the door shut. So I don't know what's going to be involved for the whole install. There's a lot of parts and pieces in there. I'm hoping it won't be too painful, but we're gonna go through it. I will take you guys with me, and of course, like always, show you the important bits. So let's begin. All right, so just to give a quick showing of what it comes with here. So here's the unit itself. It's actually pretty beefy. You can see by the size of my hand, it's not that big, but it is heavy. There is some weight in here for these things. These are where you get the option to use this clamp, which there's two of them together. One grabs either side of this, and the other one grabs the torsion bar for the garage, and that's how it activates. Ripcord wiring for the sensors here, the door sensors. I'm gonna see if I can just maybe reuse the one that's on there to make the installation a little bit easier. Remote and base pad and the same thing, and try to reuse my existing stuff so I don't have to run all the wiring all over the place. It just might be easier to extend it a little bit. Don't quite know what this thing does yet. This turns, not sure what that is for. Comes with a new light. So I'm gonna probably go in between the rafters with this light so I can still have one and it won't be in the way when the car's up. And this light right here on the left may have to get moved over a little bit, but that will be quick and easy. And then here is the power door lock that shoots this out to lock it, and they give you a template here to drill into your tracks to mount it. All right, so our first steps are we are going to use the locking collar and mount this to the unit itself. Because we're going to be going to the right side of the torsion beam, we're going to lock on right here, and then this will lock onto the torsion beam, and we're going to install our mounting bracket on the inside here, and that's going to be the only two mounting points that support the unit to the wall. All right, guys, so here we have our clamp mounted, and we have our bracket just held loose because we don't know how it's going to sit exactly up against the wall. So the next step is to hold this up and actually attach it to the torsion beam. And once it's kind of sitting in place, use a level to level as best you can, and then we're going to screw it into the wood up against the door, next to the door. Yeah, that one. All right, guys, so the unit is in place. Everything is snugged down. It isn't perfectly level because I have to go up against the beam, or I should say that metal plating there, as tight as I can to make it have enough room to get contact. You could see where I had to bolt the two lower bolts in. So it is at a slight pitch, but it does move freely up and down. It doesn't seem like it's binding or anything. So I think it's gonna be okay. I attached the emergency rope here. I'm gonna cut the excess off when I'm all done. One thing that I am faced with is the power here. As I come down, I'm like a few inches short. So I'm gonna run it off of this little surge protector I have, and I think I'm gonna mount this to the wood here so it's just off and a little bit clean. But before I do that, the next step is to install the power door lock. So we're gonna focus on that next. Okay, so for the power door lock installation, they want you to go 3 inches above, within 3 inches above the center of your second wheel in the track from the bottom up. Now, you could see in here, I already have punch outs for some sort of locking system that must have been an optional for this type of garage door track. So what I did was, I come around here, I took the template that they gave me. You could probably actually see the light through it. I just lined up my bottom hole here, which is, I'm not even gonna have to drill with a 5/16. I'm gonna punch this section out already. So like there's my 3/4 inch for the locking mechanism. So the only hole that I'll have to drill, you can see there's another hole, will be the top here with a 5/16. So then you bolt your door lock to here. The locking mechanism will protrude through here, stopping the wheel from coming up. And then we'll run one wire up and plug it into the unit. All right, so next step in the process here is we gotta install this cable tension sensor, which is gonna ride on the cable, and it kind of just presses this out from the wall to know how tight the cable is. So we're going right up there under the pulley where you can see the cable coming down, and we're just gonna attach this to the wall and run it into the unit for the wiring. All right, so my next plan of action here is I have to wire up the control module. Now, the one that came with it is this kind of plain Jane guy right here. I actually have a nice matching set already mounted in the wall here. They're backlit, they said they give temperature readout. So I'm going to try to reutilize this because it is Liftmaster, even though those are older, I don't think that it really matters. So I'm gonna grab the control wires for that right there, and I'm gonna extend them over to these beams and then run it down and drop it into the box. All right, guys, so there you have it. The new Liftmaster is installed. Look at how much space is freed up now compared to a traditional garage door opener. So I learned a couple hard lessons here. You ever have a project where like everything feels like it's going too good, and then you're like, you run into stuff and it just like beats you up and cuts you up and rubs salt in the wounds to like make sure that you really felt like you got your money's worth? That's what this project kind of turned into. So I was able to reutilize the door sensors. I just cut into the wires and I ran them to the terminal. Where I did run into issues, I could not use the garage door button that I had over there. I had to switch it out to the other unit. When I was actually trying to run this and program it, it wouldn't allow me to program it. So That had to go, and I had to use the opener that came with it for the Walmart. Emergency cable, I took the rope down and cut the excess off rather. And then, like I said, I couldn't make this connection here. I would have moved this junction box, but this wiring just keeps going. And it wouldn't really have been feasible to to move it. So I just kind of did that and nailed everything up. So it was nice and tidy, tied all my wires in up there. So when I started programming the door for the max travel up and down, this is where I ran into an issue. That sensor right there is supposed to keep tension on the cable. I don't know how well you can see the cable. Let me try to zoom in here a little bit. So the manual says it doesn't want you having slack in it, because if you lose slack in it, it stops the door from dropping. And I get it, right? If the door's binding up really bad, it doesn't want to. You don't want to strain the motor, so that's what they do. Where I ran into an issue is they want 3/4 of an inch for the cable to be spaced away from the wall. I had about a little bit under 1/2 of an inch. So when I was lowering the garage door, I would lose a little bit of tension after the first panel started to drop. There's nothing binding. It's just the way the cable was like wrapping and unraveling, and it was enough to trip the sensor and to stop the door from going all the way down. It would retract back up. So I'm not fucking shimming. I'm not shimming this whole torsion setup in these cables. That's kind of ridiculous. They can suck it. I'll just keep an eye on it and make sure everything's lubed, and obviously if it's binding up, then I'll do something. But my little cheater fix for it, ooh, this is gonna be hard to focus. Focus. Is I put a bolt in there, and I just drilled into the wood to like recess the head, just to give enough space for that thing not to drop down too much. At full height, the bar does lift forward because of cable tension, and that's how it knows to stop. But like I said, because this is really tight to the wall, on the initial lowering, I would lose tension and it would retract the door. So I'm just doing that. I'm not shimming the whole thing, and that's where I'm ending that. So that worked out that way. Everything is working now, and I don't think there's any other notes. So I did move this light over. I had it in line with that one, so to make max width of the bay here. And there is a motion light for the garage door opener, and I just tied it tight to the beam right there. This won't be an issue for the car because the hood will be right here, so the roof line is going to be more of an issue hitting those beams there. So, last but not least, a demonstration. Now keep in mind, this is a pretty big door, so that's why I went with the 8500 series. It's supposed to be a little bit more heavy duty of a unit, but and there's the stop. The thing's actually pretty quiet. I think it's quieter than the other doors. I'm gonna come over here for the closing. And then you'll see the lock here do its thing. Bam. Like butter. So, I want to go to bed now. It is 12:30 Sunday morning, and I'm exhausted. So the install's done. I got the gentleman who sold me the lift coming here tomorrow. We're going to be doing a video for the lift, so that's why I'm not going to show you guys a car at full height, because I think I'm probably just going to use his video. He's bringing a camera crew and everything. Should be interesting, but you'll get the full demonstration after this airs. So, okay, fine. We'll raise it up. Just don't say anything to the guy, all right? I told him I wouldn't do anything. Would you look at that? Plenty of headroom here. Oh, this is great. Guys, look at that. Would you just look at that? So the RX-8's a little bit taller. It's probably one of the taller ride height cars that I have. Or not ride height, but just overall height, roof height. And it gets up there. This is the lift at the full lift. I'm not even using any of the I'm not using anything with the height adapters. They're all the way down, but I can get underneath here, no problem. Oh shit! Look at it. It's the header that I installed that you can never see from the engine bay because it's so packed. Look at the colors, guys. But this is great. I'm really excited and happy about this because I have a good 8 inches, 10 inches from my head to the underneath the body, and I could just move around so nicely underneath here. And this is going to be so awesome because now I get to finally show you guys in good light. Well, I'll get some lights, but to brighten this up a little bit, I'll be able to show you guys some of the underbody stuff that I've done to the other Mazdas, like the RX-7 and the Miatas, because I'm a real whore for really clean underbodies. So this is great. Awesome stuff. All right, I'm in a good mood now. I'm much happier. This worked out really well, and bam, look at that. Oh, it's so nice to have a lift. Now I'm actually gonna use it. So many activities I can do now. So that's it, guys. That's it for this one. If you have any questions, leave them below. I'll do my best to answer you as always. And if you like this stuff, give me a like and a subscribe. It really helps the channel, and I greatly appreciate it. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. Till next time, done.